Hi, Tom.
It was Maddison's first start for quite some time since the Villa game. You talked about him needing to get up to his level of football fitness. How do you feel he performed, and how encouraged are you for the rest of the season by his performance?
Yeah, no, listen, it's great to have him out there. You see his qualities. He obviously hasn't been in for a little while, so probably lost the ball more than he would normally do. But that's all about fitness and building that up. But for 70 minutes, he's a huge talent, and he's one of a number of very talented players that we have in the team. So great for him to get that in his legs and move on to the next one now.
Does it feel mentally he's completely moved on from the reason why you left him out against West Ham?
Yeah, it's in the past. It's long gone.
Thank you.
Cheers, Tom.
Okay, Neil Moxley then, please.
Hi, Brendan. Hiya. You reached a number of finals in Scotland with Celtic. In your experience, will it have a greater will it make your job easier of motivating the players? Obviously, with this carrot of the FA Cup final now coming, or will it have no bearing at all? Do you trust them to get the job done regardless?
Yeah, no, it can have no bearing. I think this was what I said before the game, and I said after with the players. Tonight was business as usual. Every game is a big game. If you want to be a top team, of course it gets cranked up when there's a little bit more pressure, a little bit more focus, a bit more media on the likes of a semi-final and now a final. But you can't see it as a bigger game. And because if you're going to be challenging and fighting, and you just turn it up for big games, then you're not going to succeed. So that was what I was really pleased with tonight. The concentration. It just means that when you go into every game and then we go into the final, we're not going to have to produce this massive gap to be at the level. You want to be at the level every time you play, and every game has to be important. So that's the continuing development of this team, and I think the level you've seen they brought similar. So, and the remaining games, it's not about get yourself ready for the cup final. Many more games before that, very important games, and none more so than the next one.
Just obviously, you'd hope the players were fighting like rats in a sack to sort of put themselves in the frame for what is still a showpiece occasion in English football.
Long time ago. It's a long time away, mate. I won't even talk about it, to be honest. Yeah. I'll talk about it a couple of days before it, but until then, it's not even. It's not even in my thinking.
Thanks, Brendan.
Okay, Jamie Weir then, please.
Hiya, Brendan. Just to follow on from that, though, is the flip side of that not that the players are so keen to impress and to make sure they are sharp for the final that all of these Premier League matches as well, they're absolutely going hell for leather and showing you how well they're playing?
No, I know what they can do.
Yeah.
I know what they can do. They might play really well up until that game, but if we pick a strategy that sees us win the game and that means they have to be left out, then they're left out. So it doesn't matter. So it's so far away. It's I can't even really talk about it because it's not important until we lead into it. Until we finish, I think we play Man United on the Wednesday night, and then after that we've got the Sunday game, and after Manchester United, I'll talk about it then.
I know you've already touched upon this earlier, but this sort of blossoming partnership between Jamie and Kelechi has been the real sort of discovery of the second half of this season for you, hasn't it?
No, we played it a number of times before. We played it in a different system. And I think that through injury and some of the players that we don't have, of course, it has been really effective for us. But it's been effective for us a number of times when we played it. And I think that both players at this time are combining really well. And like I say, both of them have real talents, different qualities, and with the rest of the team, it's working well.
And just one final one from me in terms of Monday night's game. I suppose at this stage of the season, the matches you don't want to be playing are sides really scrapping at the top or sides really scrapping at the bottom. When you've got Crystal Palace, who, in the nicest will in the world, they haven't got much to play for this season. They're safe and they're not in any trouble from the drop or anything. Are those the games almost you want to be playing?
No, I think that's maybe from your perspective, Jamie. It's a little lazy, to be honest. Every coach or manager and player, if you're at the top of the Premier League, at the bottom of the Premier League, or in the middle of the Premier League, you fight for your life. You're fighting for supporters. There's no gimmick games. There's no easy games. Like you say, you look at West Brom's results. This is why this league is the way it is, why the brand is the way it is, because there's no easy games. So I don't need you coming to me with Crystal Palace being a gimme game. It's going to be a really, really tough game. They get big players, they get top players, international players that are very, very dangerous. And we have to be at the top of our game. And if that doesn't matter where they are in the league, it'll be a tough game for us.
Thanks, Brendan.
Good lad, Jimmy.
Okay, Katie Shanahan, then please, with PLP.
Evening, Brendan.
Hi, Kitty.
Crystal Palace are likely to sit back and be hard to break down on Monday. How hard is that to play against? And what have you made of them so far this season?
Yeah, they're super organised. Roy's teams are always very difficult to play against. They sit in that mid to lower block, deny space, and then have to hit you on the counter attack. And with players of speed and quality, they can do that. So you have to be really organised. When you haven't got the ball, got to defend well, deny the space, counter press the game really well, and then when you have the ball, you have to have the patience and also at the same time to penetrate the lines. So yeah, it's always a tough game.
And what worked well tonight that you'd like to see replicated against Crystal Palace on Monday?
I thought some of the speed of our game was very good. Once we broke through their pressure, we could get away. We need to be better with our final pass. At times, too many times, we broke away and the pass again wasn't precise enough whenever a better level of pass would have got us in. You always have to defend well, ultimately, so that's another clean sheet for us, which is important. So our pressure was good, kept running, and so you need to be able to continue with that level of commitment. And then from there, you then have to be as creative as what we've been. So yeah, but you have to earn the right always.
Thanks, Brendan. Good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
We'll jump back to Jordan then, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Jordan.
Sorry, another quick one from me. When you think back to this time last season when you had 6 games to go, obviously the form wasn't quite so consistent and you had the injuries. Is the mood noticeably better this time with this kind of coming into the final few games?
Yeah, just experience. A lot of the players that you think last year never had the experience, so being consistently up there. So there's great learning took place. But we've evolved over the course of the season. Yeah, definitely a different feel this season, but it doesn't make it any easier. Still got to, if you want to arrive where we want to, then you have to win games. And in order to do that, you have to perform. But I think you see the control in the team, the maturity in the team is improving all the time. And of course, we're playing at a good level.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll finish with Dan King then, please.
Hi, Brendan. Sorry, just 2 very quick ones, if I may. Just looking at Palace, how much of a regret or a sadness to you is that you didn't get to work with Christian Benteke for as long as you would have liked to after you signed him in that your last summer at Liverpool? And what have you made of him, of his career since?
He's a very talented player. He's international footballer. Yeah, I remember travelling out at the time whenever he was at Villa and everyone was after him. At the time, I remember travelling out to Belgium on the off season to speak with him and got him to come. And I'll never forget his first goal. They played the pre-season friendly away at Swindon. He scored an overhead kick from 20 yards, and I thought, wow, this could be a great career for him at Liverpool. And it never quite worked out for him. He had injuries and whatnot, but there's no doubt his talent. He's 6'4", great touch, strong in the air, and didn't quite work out for him at Liverpool, but it's gone on to Palace, and he's a part of also a very talented Belgian team. So good guy, and probably had his best period when he was at Villa.
And so just one more for me. Some of us who were speaking to Roy today got the impression, although he won't say, that perhaps this might be his last season, certainly at Palace. I just wonder if you could talk a bit about him and the example he's set for British managers, and whether you think, given everything that's happened this week and the way the game sometimes seems to be going, whether you can see yourself still being a manager at 73.
I really hope I won't be.
Why?
I don't know, in my own mind, my plan was to get to 1,000 games and then assess it from there. So I'm 48 now. I'm thinking of if I have some breaks in between, then that might take me to 60 or to 60. And then we'll see where we're at. I want to also enjoy my life as well. But it's hard to say, because when you have that feeling and when you love being around young people and you're in an organisation that you respect, and being around players and your love of coaching, I suppose, maybe Roy had the same things, that he was going to retire earlier, but it's kept going. But him I've got so much admiration for him. I know the energy that's required, especially at this level, and as a coach and a manager, and everything that involves being in the Premier League. So to be doing that at his age, he still plays. But Roy, a great football mind, has a huge respect in the game, and you're in it that long, being so successful, and I think all of us, in particular the British managers, have a big respect for him.
Brilliant. Thanks, Brendan. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.